The 51.7-meter tall GSLV F-10 rocket lifted off as planned at 5:43 am on Thursday morning, and its performance in the first and second stages was normal, ISRO said. But minutes after the launch, the space agency said the engines failed to ignite in the cryogenic stage. So what could have possibly caused this failure at third stage? An external influence or sabotage could have possibly caused the trouble. And we will prove you how. Before you move further, do not forget to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and please share our videos with others, and do give us your feedback. We post on strategic affairs, defense and ancient wisdom. India's major space projects have taken a hit recently, be it Chandrayaan-2 or launch of GSAT-1 or the Geo-Imaging Satellite-1, which is India's first Earth imaging satellite in a geostationary orbit. ISRO's recent successes were definitely an eyesore for India's friends and foes alike. The Week Media House reports, cryogenic stage ignition sequence is quite complex and is usually tested on ground to avoid failures in flight. Many things could have gone wrong in the mission that could include ignition signals not being sent by mission computer or failure of the igniter component itself. I repeat that line once again. Ignition signals were not sent by the mission computer. In short, GSLV's failure could have been because the mission computer did not function well. Yes, this is just one of the many reasons. But what a coincidence that ISRO's report from Chandrayaan-2 failure says that at the last minute, a software glitch led to the failure of Chandrayaan-2. Vikram lander crash-landed on the moon's surface after guidance software went kaput, according to an internal report presented to the Space Commission. A computer software caused the problem in Chandrayaan-2, and in today's GSLV F-10 also could have faced a problem from its mission computer. This is where the external sabotage or hacking attempt comes into picture. We cannot say about GSLV F-10, but there was an alert during the time of Chandrayaan-2 mission. According to Indian Express, on 3rd September, the National Cyber Coordination Center that was set up to help the country deal with malicious cyber activities and cyber warfare received information from a US-based security company that a threat factor had breached master domain controllers at Nuclear Corporation of India's Kudankulam nuclear plant as well as ISRO with a malware. The malware was later identified as D-Track, and officials at both these government agencies were informed about these security breaches on 4th of September, which was just 2 days before the scheduled Chandrayaan-2 landing attempt. The malware, if successfully installed, could have hijacked the email identity of the recipient and in turn could have been used to send mails to juniors. The agencies suspected North Korean hackers were behind this hack. The malware, identified as D-Track, had the ability to access files and upload the entire data in a remote sensing network outside India. But this wasn't the first time ISRO faced a cyber attack, according to a 142-page long US report. The report says, a Chinese network-based computer attack on Jet Propulsion Laboratory, the report points out, allowed full functional control over JPL networks. So the point is, it is very possible that GSLV F-10's third stage was compromised by external entities like hackers. Ex-ISRO scientists have also said that the failure at stage 3 is not normal. The country was to send approximately 10 Earth observation EO satellites between 2020 and 2021. This was the space agency's third attempt at launching GSAT. GSAT-1, which was to be country's first eye in the sky or Earth observation satellite to be placed in geostationary orbit, had to be launched in March last year and had to be delayed as employees at various centers of ISRO, including that of the Rocket Launch Center in Sriharikota, were affected by COVID-19. GSAT-1 launch was then slated for March 2021, but due to problems in satellite's battery side, the flight got delayed. With the replacement of the battery, the satellite and the rocket were being readied for the flight at Sriharikota when the second wave of COVID-19 swept, affecting many at the Rocket Launch Center. GSAT was designed to provide near real-time images of large areas of interest, around 4 to 5 times a day. The satellite was to be kind of advanced eye in the sky and also held the potential of aiding the country's armed forces to plan operations, albeit its resolution would have been only 50 meters above ground level as compared to other high-resolution military satellites. GSAT would have been a great help to track natural disasters too, like the floods. GSAT has both military and civilian use. GSLV's vehicles, payload fairing, the nose of the rocket where satellites are carried, was to be 4 mm ogive, a bullet-like shape making the vehicle more aerodynamic. Same payload fairing is likely to be used for India's human space flight, Gaganyaan. This was GSLV's 14th launch, and the last failure had happened in 2010. This failure is all the more surprising because the rocket launches since 2017 have been successful. And today's failure breaks that long run of successful launches. ISRO's reputation is being tainted, no doubt, along with the fact that India's plans of further launches, which are based on today's launch, have also taken a hit. At this point, we would finally like to remind that Vikram Sarabhai, who initiated space research in India, died a mysterious death. Nambi Narayanan, an ISRO scientist, was trapped in spy racket 2 decades ago. 11 nuclear scientists died mysterious deaths between 2009 and 2013. Tapan Mishra, an ISRO scientist, claimed that he was poisoned and he posted proof of it. ISRO has always been on the hit list of its friends and foes. This is why we strongly believe that India's main projects, be it Chandrayaan-2 or GSAT-1 launch, has been hacked and was sabotaged.